these are a lot of props. Some of them are okay. That's where I got my beer bottles. Some Bibles. Notebooks.
Look at this stuff.
Money. Some of it is just out of scale, but a lot of it can be used. It's a bunch of stuff. And this is where I get my doors, man, and my windows. Gotta get that door today. I got a 55% off coupon, so I pay less than $10 for this. For the next style. Word them up. Fireplace. And here's the section of very expensive furniture. But you know, at 55% off is not, it's not too bad if you're gonna go and do a kitchen type style or a bedroom. That's a pretty dope bed right there. Another fireplace. Some more furniture, some toilets. I've also noticed these joints that are coming in boxes now. They seem a little cheaper in price. I don't know how good the quality is. They even have, hardwood. You can use this for hardwood floors. I wouldn't, because that shit is cheating. Haha, just playing. Tiles, but I make them handmade, baby. Bricks. Yeah. My name is Alex Saavedra, and I was born in the south end of Boston in 1974. And when I was about a year old, we moved into this community called Villa Victoria, which is basically a low-income community that had a non-profit organization that, helped the residents and daycare services and all that within this community. But it was a mostly Puerto Rican community, and it was cool to be around my people. I was born in Boston. My mom came to Boston from Puerto Rico when she was 7 months pregnant with me. So I was made in PR, born in Boston. So grew up mostly around a Spanish-speaking community, which is why I kind of have an accent, I guess. Yeah, man, I had some great years. I spent the first 20 years of my life there, living in that community, and actually ended up working for that community. And I still work for that community to this day. I am a father of 3 people. I have a 21-year-old son, soon to be 22. A 16-year-old son who will be 17 later this year, and then a 10-year-old daughter who's going to be 11 later this year as well. So yeah, man, I've been a dad, man. That's been my main job for many years. But I'm, in terms of work, I work in the nonprofit sector. So I grew up. By the time the mid '80s hit, I was 10 years old. I was in 84, 10 years old, and 85, 11, and so forth. So I was there, man, when the Transformers first came out. G.I. Joe, He-Man, Star Wars, so all that shaped me, man. That came at an age in my life where my dad had moved out right around that time. Not that it affected me too much, because my mom was amazing, and my dad was around. It wasn't like he just left us. We saw him, sometimes 3-4 times a week. He worked nearby. He'd always come by, and so he didn't step away like that. More like he just didn't live with us. So that was a time where, I'm young, impressionable, and all of a sudden, these crazy cartoons is coming out on TV, and then these toys are coming out, and Christmas around the corner. Man, some of my best memories ever was that age in my life, in terms of carefree. I don't got to worry about nothing. It's just playing and having a good time. sorry about the shaky camera. I'm actually on my on a trip to Toy Vault, and it's my monthly trip. I usually go once a month or sometimes twice a month, and I haven't gone this month, so I'm on my way up there now. Anyway, to go back to my story. So yeah, man, I fell in love with action figures at an early age, but not just action, sports. That's when the Celtics won the championships too, and so I love basketball. I collected sports cards, baseball cards, basketball, football cards. I love football. I got into sneakers. That was also kind of the golden age of hip hop, man. So I was really who I am today is those elements of my life back then, because I just grew to love them, or loved them instantly. So all of that is still in me. I mean, I still wear sneakers, and I still, I don't really go by the code of society. I'm 39 years old, and society says I'm supposed to be a certain way. I just say, well, whatever, I do what I like. I do what I love. That's that. I'm not new to action figures, because obviously back in the 80s, I had a dope ass G1 Transformer collection, dope ass G.I. Joe collection, a real good Star Wars collection. For whatever reason, my dad used to ask you to work for Channel 2, WGBH. If you're in the East Coast, that may mean something, but anywhere else, that don't mean shit. But anyway, so my dad always had a good job. So I always had, that's the one thing I didn't do without. I always had name brand shit, because I you was into it, new Fila's would come out, or Lottos, or all these different sneaker companies I was competing in the 80s. And so I'd be like, Dad, I want some, some new whatever. And, he'd always have my back, and we always shopped at like Jordan Marsh, which is now Macy's. Like, my dad he was cool, man. He was cool for that part. He was definitely, he kept us shining, no doubt about that. So part of that is being able to have some dope action figures. And since then, I don't know anything but not having a good collection of anything. That's just because that's what I do. Some people like to work on their cars and get new parts and hook up their whips, and some people like to go clubbing every week, and some people gamble. Everybody has their vice, I guess. And so mine was always action figures, from the moment I actually started working, because I didn't, obviously in the mid 80s I'm 10, so by the mid 90s I'm 20, and that's when I started collecting. 1995 officially was the year that I started actively buying action figures and collecting them, stacking them, hanging them up on my wall, thumbtacks to the wall, or push pins to the wall, and boom, I would just, everything. And the power of the Force, the Star Wars line, was what really brought me back into it. And so I was looking for, everybody in the universe that had released it. All these, again, just crazy characters that might have had 3 seconds in the movie, and I just wanted my collection to be dope. So since then, I've always had a good action figure collection. It just so happens that I didn't really have anybody to physically share that with. So I'm new to the community, and I appreciate everyone who's welcomed me and who's accepted me. Because anytime you're going into any type of new community, it's people are gonna look at you funny and be like, "Who's this dude? He's just some dude who got who has money and just went on eBay and got a whole bunch of shit and said, look, he has a dope collection," and jump right in. Because trust me, I've been part of many communities, sneaker communities, so forth and so on, and people just jump in. They may have a fat wallet, they can jump in and make it looks like they've been part of this for their whole life, but they just jumped in a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever. So that could have been the perception when I got on the scene. Because when I got here, there was people already for years and years. People from Bug Nice to John Connor to Darius, all these guys that have been doing it for years and had, it was ACBA, it was a family atmosphere, so to be accepted into that is always a good feeling. And I think you don't have to talk a lot. Like, I didn't come on and all of a sudden start saying, yo, look at me, look at everything I got, and start one by one detailing every single action figure. Like, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to come in and have a good time with it. And little by little, my collection would be shown, because that's what you like to do. You like to share what you have. And then, in time, I was embraced, and everybody, was real cool with me and the way they treated me. And I definitely appreciate that. And it's, again, as you guys know, it's a great community to be a part of.
sometimes, so at some point in the whole action figure thing, and specifically, Instagram came into play, and Instagram was something that I had for a while, but I just didn't know what it was. I thought it was just like an app that gave you different filters for pictures. I didn't know it was like a social community type of shit. So I remember like when the Avengers came out, first weekend the Avengers came out, I was at Toys R Us and I saw some mini mates, and I snatched up the Avengers core line, just Iron Man, Captain, Hulk, and what do I was? See, I knew I was gonna forget the third member before I even said it. So I got to action figures, and I don't know. I posed them in my backyard, and I put like Hulk was like holding a rock, like over his head, and so I posed that, and then I posed Iron Man just like in a regular pose. Thor, I posed Thor and Captain America. So I took a picture of it, and now I was learning about hashtagging on Instagram. So I said, all right, these are mini mates, boom. So I put hashtag mini mates. These are action figures, boom. Little action figures. So I put toys. I put a whole bunch of hashtags, just typing them up. And so when I posted the picture, then I went on the hashtag itself, and one of the first, I think I put toy photography, I believe I put that, and one of the first pictures I saw that blew my mind was Darius, the Amazing. He had, it must have been a K-Man raid, I don't remember specifically what it was, but the background he had and the way he had it, I was like, oh shit, this is what it's about, I love action figures, but what am I doing with action figures right now? I'm collecting them because I love them for a bunch of reasons. Articulation, paint application, the mold, so forth and so on. History of the line. But all I can do is display them, hang them up, I would open, especially Marvel Legends. When Marvel Legends came out, I jumped on Marvel Legends. I even had Toad. I gave my son Destroy Toad, but I had Toad from the first line. I had the all first four, which I believe was Captain, Hulk, Thor, and I think it was Toad Man. It had to be. So I was all over Marvel from the beginning, but I loved opening those because I was like, yo, mad articulation. They reminded me of G.I. Joes. So I've always been on opening Marvel Legends. Everything else, there was not much, the Star Wars, there were stiff action figures, even then, they looked funny. Like, you couldn't get dynamic with them at all. You couldn't have Luke Skywalker fighting Darth Vader with the lightsabers, and they just like, it's just there's not much posing you can do. So I wouldn't open those. I'd open the Legends and usually just display them somewhere. So again, just to fast forward, I don't want to, I don't even know. I'm trying not to go too long with the video. Where am I at? All right, cool. So that's how I found out there was a toy community, because originally I obviously I didn't know. That there was a community like it exists today. So boom, word. Let me start posing my action figures horribly because I didn't know anything. I was just like trying to make them look a little different, lift up an arm and lift up a leg or whatever, and it just wasn't proper posing. But cool. I jumped in and I was enjoying it. And again, as I said in a previous YouTube entry, I just didn't like my backgrounds. My backgrounds was booty. They were horrible. So I wanted to get more information. So again, doing the research, the internet, searched it, found out about AJ, and through AJ found out about Bob, and all of a sudden now I had tutorials, I had references to go to and say, all right, how do they do it? And just seeing how they did it. And again, just because of in our background, I'm a graffiti writer for 20 years. It's I definitely had practice in hand-eye coordination, sending that signal to your brain to tell your hand what you want your brain to do. And so that led me to dial making. So this is where I'm at today. I made my first diorama was a little less than a year ago. I've been in the community for about a year and a half now. My first I got excited. I went to Lowe's. I got a 2-inch thick foam board. It was too thick. It was I've said all this, but I wanted to fast forward to today. So it's gotten to a point where people have contacted me and they've asked me if I can make them a diorama. One of the first people to hit me up was Franco Ochoa, who hit me up. And I had just done something, and he was like, "Yo, dude, I want to buy that off you. How much?" And I just threw a price at him. I didn't overprice it or anything, and I thought it was fair for the time and for the work. He okayed it. He sent me money. Boom, I sent the diorama over. He commissioned another one, or I made another one, and he liked it, and I sent him that one. So I think he ended up getting a couple, 2 or 3 from me. Then a cat hit me up from California who was originally from New York and asked about a subway station. I had just done one for myself, and he wanted one that was more, New York, from his hometown, more New York based. So boom, commissioned that one. I made it, sent it out to him. When this year turned around, one of the things that I remember saying is that I didn't really want to do $1 million. I don't know. At that time when I said it, I just wasn't feeling doing a whole bunch of dioramas, but for whatever reason, something just turned on, I guess, because I just been chucking them out. They're just coming out. The other day I met up with Mark Nolan. He had hooked me up with a couple action figures that I needed to pick up from him, and we were just talking, and as we were talking, he mentioned, I was like, dude, you just mad. Ron was mad, and I was thinking, and one of the things I told him, I was like, I think it's just that pent up, not being able to share anything with anybody with action, in terms of action figures for so many years, just being a single collector in my mind, I didn't think there was anybody else, so it was just me, and so that all of a sudden wasn't the case anymore. So now I'm feeling all this energy that I had, and I'm just enjoying the process. And anytime you enjoy the process, it doesn't feel like work. So I don't feel like, damn, dioramas again. Like, I'm not feeling like that right now. I may one day feel that way. I may never feel like whatever. All I can do is just go with the flow. And so the flow right now is just boom. People are hitting me up, asking me about dioramas, what I charge. All right, so one of the first things is I'm not ever going to publicly talk about what I charge for a diorama. That's just not something I don't prefer to do that for a couple reasons. First and foremost, I want to get an idea of what you have in mind. Like I said before, or maybe I haven't said before, I don't want to just take any project. I don't want to, hey, somebody hit me up, they wanted a Mortal Kombat diorama. That's not something that right now, for whatever reason, I just don't feel like getting into doing that type of diorama, because it just becomes more of a cave, more of a completely different feel. I'm not saying I can't do it, I probably can. I'm really enjoying the city scene. I'm really enjoying the urban environment type dioramas. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm going to stick to for a little bit. So if you're thinking something way outside the box, I may not do it. I do want to do a Star Wars diorama, because I'm just waiting for some more of those 6-inch figures to come out. And after seeing all the pictures from Toy Fair or whatever this weekend, I'm even more amped. So I definitely want to do a Star Wars diorama. But right now, this is what I'm doing. So you're going to get bricks, you're going to get cement. Well, I'm not going to discuss prices with you that way. Hit me up, tell me what you have in mind. What I've been doing now is when people hit me up, I send them this long-ass paragraph that breaks down the price range going on size and what it is you're interested in. Now, obviously, if you want a bunch of windows and doors, it's going to cost a little more, because I may have to buy the door, or there's more creative, there's more wood, there's more material, there's more that I have to do towards it, so it's going to cost a little bit more. Any diorama I've sold, I'm trying to tell you, the time I've put in, if you want to value time, I'm not getting paid for my time, really, a couple bucks an hour, if that, but it's not about the money. I just do it because I'm enjoying it. If too much comes my way, I may say right now I have too many, I'm cool, I'll hit you back up when some time, frees up. But please know that I hit me up, email me. I'm at alf.figures@gmail.com. Let me know what you're interested in. I'll send you the paragraph, read it if it makes sense, and it goes all the way as far as how the payment's going to be handled, how I'm going to need 50% upfront to start a project. That's basic standard in any industry where you want some upfront money to do an idea somebody may have. I'm going to give you 110% every single time when I create any diorama, because I'm kind of anal that way, man. I'm not trying to send you some bullshit. I want to send you something, and y'all see the pictures. The pictures are a pretty good representation of what the dial looks like. And those pictures are just, iPhone pictures. So when people get them, I obviously want to get feedback from them, and so far everybody that's gotten a diorama for me has been happy. So I'm gonna work hard and make it look good. But there's a process, So if you can just read what I'm sending you, and we can just vibe back and forth based on that information, then cool, we'll work on a project. And that's how it's been working out. I've been working with people that have great ideas for dioramas. We're pitching ideas back and forth, and it becomes a process that we do together. So it becomes a one-of-a-kind, just for you diorama, and this is how you had wanted the diorama to be. So yeah, man, just wanted to kind of touch base on that and give y'all a little rant. I haven't ranted since my scalpers YouTube. Oh, I guess I do rant a little bit every once in a while, but I just wanted to do a little more ranting. So I should be at Toy Vault soon. I always try to run the camera in there, but I think one time there was like, nah, you can't do that. So I'm gonna ask. I'm like, yo, can I just record some of the stuff y'all have in here? Because y'all have some incredible shit. All right, man. So peace out. Looks like they have Superior Spider-Man. This is the Target in Attleboro, and it looks like they have Marvel Now Cap, and then the other peg one is the World War II, and it looks like they have two. So I'm always on the lookout for some more AIM soldiers and some more Hydra, and so there's really nothing here as expected. Although I got lucky here before, so it's never too late. I got Luke. I haven't seen Luke in a while. And all Greedos and Leias. That's about it. A lot of empty space. The WWE Elite gone. Looks like VC has a lot of open space too. Alright, I guess we can check Toys R Us across the street and go to Toy Vault. Yeah, man, just as I suspected, Toy Vault does not allow any video cameras in their store. You just have to kind of email the owner and let them know the purpose. But it's a policy that they have, so grab that email address and I'll hit them up. Just because it's something I like to share with y'all, because it's a dope ass store. So I was able to grab this up today, $15. So I said, why not? I need that piece, build a figure piece, and obviously, I'm probably gonna end up paying, I don't know, anywhere from $5 to $10 for it. So might also just pay 15 and get one mint on card with a X23. So that's all I bought today there. Yeah, man, I was back to Boston, and dinner should be ready, so I'm like, let's be out. All right, y'all, peace. So it is Sunday night, and that means it is Walking Dead night. Playing off of last week's episode where Carl got jumped for his shoe. I wanted to just create a scene for tonight. I'm gonna try to do a Walking Dead scene every Sunday night until the season's over. I just need to get on the new releases like Tyrese and Glenn and Maggie. Man, I've been looking today. I got back from Toy Vault and Target. Went to 2 Targets today and Toys R Us. I know the Walking Dead figures don't usually show up at Target, but just in general, toy hunting and Newberry Comics, a couple places that do carry the Walking Dead, and the new figures have not hit. Doesn't look like they've hit my state yet. Doesn't look like they've hit Massachusetts. So hopefully, I actually was able to grab a Ultimate Beetle from the Spider-Man Marvel Legends Infinite line, and I'm gonna see if I can turn that into a trade for maybe Tyrese specifically. So I'm gonna put that out there later on. See if anyone's interested. Actually, for the picture, I had the light. It's kind of lighting their legs. I took Penny and I actually took off her head and just put that other, just because I don't like the pigtails and making it look like another little girl instead of Penny. And then I just got, trying to put as many arms
kind of reaching towards Carl as possible, and Carl obviously is looking for some help from Pops, and Daryl and his Pop Dukes are on the case. It looks like Daryl's head needs to be turned a little bit. I don't know, I actually wanted him. Yeah, so what I did with this shoot is the way I shine the light, the lamp, in the pictures, it just looked like this was a never-ending black hole, which I definitely like that effect. You can't in the in the camera you can't see it as well just because the light is there and it's kind of reflected, and if I cover it, you'll see what's in the background. So, which is toilet paper. I guess I'm supposed to bring that to the kitchen. I was told to. Oops. Or rather to the bathroom and not leave it in the kitchen. So yeah, so this was my shoot, man. And another Sunday down, threw some stuff in the background. You know, it's funny because a lot of times I throw a bunch of stuff that doesn't even make the shot. And you end up not even seeing it. But just in case, I just set it up that way. Pulled out the train station diorama. So here's another kind of angle of, you know, again, these dioramas are made for 6-inch figures, and these are more on the 5-inch scale. So I just had to stand them up on top of the tracks. But it worked out, man. So hopefully we have another good episode tonight, and hopefully by next week or the week after, I'll have some new figures from the line and keep it interesting. Alright, y'all. Audi 5000.